Welcome to Oxford English Book 1 Learning the Language, page 72. Learning a new language is a challenging task. So is keeping with the language of the culture you were born into. Mohammed Ubedi is now 80. He left Yemen as young man and has lived in Sheffield in the United Kingdom ever since. In the extract below, he looks back on his long life when he first came to the UK. He didn't learn proper English and picked up what he could. Now he is taking special classes to learn the language systematically. Old age education. Back in the late 1950s, there were no opportunities for young men in the Yemen. When we heard about the jobs in the steelworks in Britain, we thought, that's what we'll do. Thousands and thousands of us came over to Britain from Yemen to work in the steelworks. Sheffield was a big steel producing city then. I liked it here. I liked the hills round about, which reminded me of home, and I liked the city. The work was hard. Sometimes our shifts were 16 hours, but we didn't mind that. I worked as a spare man. That meant that I was skilled at every job, so I could fill in for anyone who was sick. I was highly skilled. The conditions in the factories weren't good then. On one occasion, I went to the boss and I said, Sir, the conditions aren't good. We Yemenis can't understand what the gaffer says. We can't read the safety rules. We are often injured. We want to have English lessons. Do you know what his answer was? English lessons? You are here to work, not learn. Work, work, that's what you are here for. That's what it was like back then. So we'd work our long shifts and then go to the Yamni cafes and speak Arabic. Then, when the steel industry collapsed, thousands of us were made redundant. It was a terrible time. But it's all different now. We have got the Yamni Center. Yemenis who were born here in Britain learned Arabic, so they don't forget their roots. And what about me? I am learning English at last. I go to college once in a week in a class of retired Yemeni steel workers who all are learning to speak proper English. Our average age is 75. When we started, we only knew commands because that's all we ever heard. But we are progressing really well now. We work hard in the steelworks, now we are working hard with our English. My friend is 81 and last year he won a Special Learners Award. Isn't life a funny thing? When I look back to when I was a boy in my village in Yemen, it's like looking at another person. Was that really me? It is not just people who move from one country to another. Many birds migrate between continents. But migration is a hazardous time for the birds. Many die of starvation, in exhaustion, or in storms. A story about migrating birds. In this story, the swallows return each year to nest in a family's garage in England. A brother and a sister, Matt and Ollie, watch them each year as they nest, lay their eggs, and raise their young. But this year, Ollie is alone because Matt is in Africa. When one of the baby swallows is injured by a neighbor's cat, Ollie and her mother nurse it back to health. It is then able to join the other swallows on their migration at the end of the summer. Ollie calls a swallow Hero and hopes that it will find her brother in Africa. This part of the story describes the beginning of Hero's long and hazardous journey. Hero's journey. Hero joined the others as they flocked to a nearby lake, and for several days he hunted there, skimming over the water after mosquitoes. He was safe here with his family, amongst thousands of gathering swallows and martins. All the while his strength grew within him. At dusk, as darkness begins to fall, they gathered to roost in the trees around the lake. Every night in the roost, their air of expectancy grew. Every night, the birds were slow to settle their sleep. Then one morning early, the hobby falcon came gliding high over the lake. The birds heard his killer coo call and scattered in terror. Down came the hobby falcon, swifter than any bird Hero had ever seen. Hero felt the wind of him as he passed by and swerved aside only just in time. But the hobby falcon was not after him, he was after a young martin, slower and more stuttering in flight than Hero, and for the martin there was no escape. The flock flew that same morning. A whispering cloud of words swirled out over the lake. The sky darkened as it went. They flew south toward the sea, hoping that they had seen the last of the hobby falcon. But the hobby falcon was not far behind, for he too was bound for Africa. He would fly all the way with them, taking the youngest, the slowest, the weakest, whenever he felt like it. He had done it before.